Daenerys Targaryen, mother of dragons from the cult TV series Game of Thrones, would be rather happy here in Ljubljana, with her favourite pet found all across the Slovenian capital. Legend has it that Jason of Argonauts fame, and not the baby Jesus here, had slain the dragon that once terrorised the area, whilst the Greek hero was on the run with the Golden Fleece. The 19th century Franz Josef I Jubilee Bridge is adorned with the city's emblematic symbol, and is more fondly known by locals today as the Dragon Bridge. It is said that if a virgin walks across the bridge, the dragons wag their tails in appreciation. Evidently, none were crossing here today. Those who wish to keep the status of their chastity to themselves whilst in town can take the neighbouring Triple Bridge instead, although one will be faced with a different dilemma here of which part of the bridge to actually take. Originally just one crossing in the 19th century, 2 additional footbridges were added either side of it in the 1930s to reduce the rise in traffic congestion over it. The pedestrianisation of the area in 2007 has prevented the need to turn this iconic crossing, or rather crossings, into the Quintuple Bridge. A little further down the Ljubljanica stands the Butcher's Bridge. Originally designed in the 1930s but only completed in 2010, the crossing stands close to the area's former butcher's slaughter rooms, hence the name. Favourite local sculptor Jakov Brdar has clearly taken inspiration from this, with his sculpture of fallen Greek hero Prometheus looking like a carcass, greeting pedestrians at one end of the crossing. Other works by Brdar here are this satyr's encounter with a serpent, as well as Adam and Eve's banishment from paradise after being tempted by a serpent. Brdar seems to have made an obscure connection with the bridge and snakes, but everyone else appears to connect it with love, and as in the case of many European cities these days, they have adorned its lengths with padlocks as declarations of amore. Even Brdar's grotesques appear to be bitten by the love bug. Brdar's fascinating and often surreal sculptures and works can be found elsewhere in the city. Arguably, his signature piece is along the length of Locksmith Street. The installation is made up of 700 little bronze faces, some cute, some rather expressive, and some, well, anyway. The installation culminates at the top of the narrow alleyway with this bizarre-looking piece that looks like a ruffle-wearing sea lion made out of a rubber glove. Turn his or her head to reveal that this is more than just a piece of conceptual street art, but a functioning water fountain. Disappointingly, water only flows from the one teat, leg, finger, or whatever it is. Ljubljana appears to have a penchant for weird and wonderful water fountains featuring creatures, including this one with delightfully happy-looking horses skipping around it. This example where someone appears to have just plopped a Mickey Mouse toy into the middle of it, and this kangaroo design. Why a kangaroo in Slovenia? Who knows? The latter 2 fountains can be found in Krek Square, which leads to the city's most popular attraction. No, not this modern-day funicular, although being the quickest and easiest way to climb up the 70-metre-high hill to it is arguably a popular attraction in itself, having to date carried nearly 4 million visitors since it opened in 2008. It is trumped, however, by its upper station location of Ljubljana Castle. It's believed that there has been a settlement here since Celtic times, but what remains of the castle now only dates back to the 16th century, although the glass and plasterwork suspiciously looks a lot more recent. Being the most recognisable symbol of Ljubljana and due to its lofty position can be seen from almost any part of the city, it's understandable that so many tourists flock to it. Admittedly, though, there isn't really a great deal to see and do on the grounds, apart from enjoying the panoramic views over the city. The only problem with this vantage point, however, is that the one structure that would identify this horizon as the capital of Slovenia cannot be seen from here, that of the castle itself. Arguably a better viewing platform to achieve this is from the top of Ljubljana's Nebotičnik, the Slovene word, if pronounced correctly, for skyscraper. Once the tallest building in the Balkans, when built in the 1930s, visitors today are free to take the lift and wander up to the restaurant and cafe on the top floors and enjoy the ultimate panoramic view across the city from the terrace. There's no obligation to purchase food and drink from here, and staff seem to turn a blind eye to those like myself who just wanted to grab a photo or two from outside. Back at ground level, one can easily discover on foot further artistic delights in and around the old town, including the side door to the Cathedral of St. Nicholas. No, not an array of novelty coat hooks, but the portraits of all the bishops of the city from the 20th century. There are also some fine and very well preserved examples of 18th, 19th and early 20th century architecture leading back from the old town to the main railway station. But for something completely different and unconventional, there is always Metelkova town. Just a short walk east from the main train station, this ex-army garrison is now Slovenia's answer to Copenhagen's Christiania Freetown. Maybe the inhabitants of this free-living commune were just camera shy, or were shying away from the rain the day I visited. Or maybe they were just sleeping in after a long night of excess, as several nightclubs, music venues and performance spaces are actually housed here. After midnight, this is apparently the place to be for a good night out in Ljubljana. Before midday, however, this is the place where one is unlikely to see much life stirring until well into the afternoon.